Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks and I'm at the UK Games Expo 2018, and today I'm joined by
Mark.
Steve. And we've just finished playing Quadropolis, which is a sort of SimCity style, build different parts of the city. So you've got like housing blocks here and parks and factories and harbours and things, and you're trying to acquire these and put them into score points in different ways. So like many of these city building games, for instance, you can actually stack the tower blocks on top of them. I mean, I haven't done in this case, but if I can put that there, the higher the tower block is, you can see the more points you get, the bigger it is. Parks get points for being around, for having tower blocks around them. So in this case, I had a park here, you can see the tower blocks around. You're getting points for that. Factories want to be next to harbours and shops. You want to put people in the shops to get points. They have these sort of municipal buildings which give you points for being in each quadrant of your board. You can see I've got one here, one here, one here, and one here. And then harbours want to be in kind of lines, so I've kind of made a line of harbours at the edge here. So you're trying to score points according to the various different tables by putting them in the right place. But in terms of how you put them in there, you acquire tiles from the board here. So if I just clear some of these away at the start, you have several of these tokens like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you look at the grid and decide which one do you want. So maybe I want this tile here, so I'd have to use, I'd have to put one point in that direction and goes the right number of spaces. So in this case, because it's a 3, that'd be 1, 2, 3, and then I could take this one and I would try and find a space on my board. But whatever architects they're called that you use here, you have to put it on the matching sort of row or column on your board. So because I used a 3, I'd have to put it either in the 3 column or the 3 row. So fortunately I could put this here, and you get whatever the stuff is at the top left. So I would immediately get 3 of the power tokens. You can also get people by doing this, and then at the end of the game, in order for the various things to score, you've got to put the appropriate thing in. So housing blocks need power, factories need meeples to run them. So you're kind of acquiring the various power and people, using them at the end to score the various bits, to score the points, and most points wins. Just a couple of other things I should point out is that whenever you take a tile, like I took this one here, this guy goes in this space, and that means the next person, when it's their turn, they can't put a tile down that points towards him. So even if you had the appropriate number to take this one, you couldn't put that there because it's pointing towards this guy. Equally, you couldn't put it on the other side, and you couldn't put it over there. So it kind of restricts where other people can go, which makes it a bit tricky in terms of acquiring the tiles that you need. Once you've got a bunch of tiles, you can see there's various stacks here. You sort of play over 4 rounds, acquiring tiles each time, and then count up your points and see what's the most. What do we think?
I think as far as fun weight games, this is actually very good. Certainly because we play on the easy side of the board, but there is a slightly more interesting, complicated side of it. I do like the playing on this, and so obviously you've got to gain your bits, but you're also going to be looking at what other people like to take. So what can I take this turn, and hopefully I should have access to by the time it comes round to me. Using the dude who moves around to make sure you can block people, take particular things can also be handy. There's various different point scoring. My biggest issue is that, certainly on the easy side of the board, once you've kind of seen it, you have kind of seen it. You can go through slight various scorings we've done, but like all of us, we've all tried to get a lot of harbours. We've all tried to put a park, like some tower blocks around a park. The game is more interesting on the selection bit rather than my own personal board, but maybe that's just me.
Steve?
I like it. It's fundamentally at heart a really simple tile laying game. You're trying to score tiles and the way the points. It's effectively between 2 cities, but solo version. The way you acquire the tiles is very nice. So the extra restrictions every time, they've got like one more than you could possibly have to make it interesting for me. So effectively, I'm more interested in the more restrictions there are, if that makes sense. So there's a restriction that you can't point to the meeple, there's a restriction that you've got a 1, 2, 3, and 4, which restricts the tiles you've got, and then the final restriction is just the numbers around the edge, about where you can place it. And then you've got to score points. So I feel like I usually do in the first playthrough of these. I concentrate on trying to fill mine the best I can, and end up going joint last effectively. So it's really nice, and obviously Mark said there is a more complicated side, and if I played it again I'd want to try the more complicated side of the board. But you know, it's got enough tactics there in what is quite a short game to make me want to play it again.
Rating?
It's light, it's usually like that I'd want to play, but I would rate it for what it is, 7-ish.
Okay.
think I have to split it. I think for a family, like, well, I think 7.5, possibly even 8. Some big kids will quite like the city building. For me, probably around a 6.
Yeah, I wasn't really so keen, I think, as these guys, and I'm just trying to work out why. I like city building as a theme. I think my issue with this, it just feels too abstract. It feels like the theme's kind of been pasted on. You've got this board that tells you get points for putting these tiles next to these tiles, and you don't want these tiles near these tiles, you want lines of these tiles. It just feels lots of abstract rules combined together, and then they've just decided to name the buildings different things. I mean, I guess the theme kind of makes sense, but again, with all the rules, the restrictions like Steve was talking about, you've got to make sure the architect takes the right tile from the row, and it can't point at the guy, and you've got to put it in the right place on your board. It just feels very abstract. Now, you might like that. I'm sure there are people who will enjoy this, but for me, it was just too much of a collection of random rules that didn't make sense to me. So I think it's fine, but I wouldn't be a huge fan of it. I'd probably be on a 6 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching. That was Quadropolis.